Are we on right now? Okay. Let me know when we're on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to David M. Hughes Stadium for Hopkinton Hillers Varsity football. As today they take on the Algonquin Titans. Tom Nappy on the call alongside Wally Hannaberry, and it is a battle of two teams that won in the first week of the season. The Hopkinton Hillers took down Wayland 16-6. Wayland scored on the first possession of the game, but they were shut down the rest of the day. Joe Carazza scored the first touchdown of the season for the Hillers on a 40-yard run to make it a 6-6 game. Avery Ravitch then kicked a short field goal a bit later to make it 9-6. And then in the third quarter, Robert Litcher, a 1-yard touchdown pass to Sam Pantera on fourth down in the third quarter, plus the extra point made it a 16-6 game, and that is how the score stayed. Algonquin and Hopkinton, they are meeting for the first time in quite a while. They first played each other all the way back in 1898 when Algonquin was Northborough High School. Northborough won that game 5-2. They played again in 1960. Northborough won that one 34-13. The overall series between Hopkinton and Algonquin is tied at 5 wins apiece. And Algonquin, they also come into this game with a 1-0 record as they defeated Doherty Memorial in week 1. 20-0 was the final in that game. Christian Anderson had 52 yards receiving for the Titans, and running back Dylan Terra racked up 135 yards rushing and a touchdown. Paul Ramos had 64 yards rushing and a touchdown. And leading the way, tackle-wise, Natalo Maggiolino with 6 tackles. Defensive end Logan Coffey had 4. Cornerback Brendan Pemberton had 4. And Logan Coffey had 4. And linebacker Aiden Callahan got on the action with 3 tackles as well. So both teams come into this game, into week 2 of the season, with a win under their belt. And Wally, as I welcome in my broadcast partner, Wally Hannaberry, I don't quite know what to expect in this game. The Hillers certainly a lot more experienced this season than they were last year. They returned all of their starters and most of their backups, but these two teams, they haven't played each other in quite a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. Both teams seems like they're coming off 2 convincing wins, if not real lopsided, but at least, like I said, no drama in the final score of either of their games. So they're both going to come in here on a high, I think, and it's exciting to be here for the the home opener for the Hillers tonight.
Absolutely, and we had the coin flip. We are just about ready for football. I believe it's going to be Algonquin receiving. Without further ado, let's send it down to the public address announcer for the national anthem.
In your hometown, Hopkinton Hillers and the Tri-Valley League.
I was he protected me. I got shoved. The PTSD's coming back. It's all coming back.
Students and opponents alike. Now please rise for the playing of our national anthem as performed by the HHS band led by Craig Hay.
And there you have it, the national anthem, and we are ready for football, week 2 of the season. Let's take a look at the TVL standings. In the TVL Large, Westwood, Holliston, Medfield, Hopkinton, all 1-0. Ashland and Norwood lost last week. They are 0-1. In the TVL Small, Bellingham, Dover, Sherborne, Millis, all 1-0. Norton, Medway, and Dedham, 0-1.
Well, Tommy, you were correct. Algonquin is going to receive here the opening kickoff.
The Hillers are going to line it up and work right to left across your screen here in this opening quarter as Avery Ravitch tees it up, and we are just about ready to go. The crowd is pumped, a full house here tonight. The student section is packed. They are ready. Wally, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Hillers football on HCAM. First home game of the season. Here we go.
Right after this dramatic pause, we'll get going.
At least the ball didn't blow off the tee. And it's a liner up the gut, and it'll be taken from the 5-yard line over to the far side. Dylan Terra, the captain, with a return up to about the 20, give or take. And Algonquin will have the opening possession and work left to right across your screen.
Yeah, good coverage by Hillers there, not giving up a big emotional run back by Algonquin to start the game.
So they are going to line it up out of the eye. Starting quarterback is Brendan Pemberton. And the first play of the day is going to be a sweep up the far side, and that'll be taken to about the 20, the 30.
Okay, get about 6-7 yards on that run there.
So they mark him at the 30-yard line, a 7-yard pickup on the first play of the day. Algonquin is a run-heavy team. They feature a number of good, fast, strong running backs, and they're going to line it up this time out of Wishbone. Receiver spread out to either side, handoff to the right back, and he will fight his way up to about the 36-37.
That's a first down right there. Yeah, they do use a heavy backfield. They got 2 guys in the backfield, a tight end, and only 1 receiver split out wide. So they are really trying to use their run game to start this.
They can break out the pass if needed. They did so a little bit in their first game of the season, the win over Doherty Memorial, and this time they were going to go from the gun. Pemberton with a back to his left, receiver out to either side. He'll hand it off once again, and this time they won't get very far. Small loss.
Yeah, little to no gain there. Hiller's front line really stuffed the gaps right there, and he didn't get through.
It was Dylan Terra on the try. And they get knocked back about a couple of yards.
Second down and about 11 for Algonquin.
Second and 11. Pemberton out of the gun, back to his left. He's going to take it himself. And he'll fight his way up to about the 40.
Yeah, so he got only about 2 or 3 yards there. Right up the middle, no hesitation. That was just a quarterback run right there.
So that's a 6-yard pickup. So they'll talk it over and line it back up.
Third and about 6 here. That's where the Hillers need to step up, get Algonquin off the field right away.
Takes the snap, and he's going to roll to his right under pressure. Throws up the sideline. It's batted, nearly intercepted. An incomplete pass. Getting the hand on it was Charlie Petruni.
Great defense there right from the start. The rushers came right through, and they chafed him out of the pocket immediately. didn't have very far to go, and when he threw it up, the backfield was out there waiting for it.
It'll bring up a 4th and 6, and they'll kick it away. Alex Klein, their senior kicker and punter, is out there.
Alex Klein on the kick.
One back to receive for the Hillers.
Yeah, not a great snap, but he gets a good roll on that punt. Yeah, real Algonquin roll. It's going to go all the way down to the 15.
So Petruni lets it roll, and we'll see the Hillers offense for the first time this season. The Hillers are going to be backed up to about their own 15-yard line. 9 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in the first quarter as they start their opening drive. The Hillers offense led by a captain quarterback, Robert Litcher. And he's going to line it up with Karatza in the backfield.
Big spread formation here.
Out of the gun he goes. Karatza to his left. 2 receivers to his left as well, and he will throw to his left. Incomplete. He's trying a little quick out to Paul Litcher, and it was dropped.
Yeah, they weren't going to get much off of that. He was open, but he would have been covered right away. So it would have been a 1-yard gain probably at most.
And this Algonquin defense, they were certainly stingy last week as they shut out Doherty Memorial, typically a very tough program. So don't be surprised if this ends up being a defensive affair. Litcher out of the gun, with the back to his left, takes the snap. He's going to pitch it to Karatza. Up the middle he goes, and he is going to be brought down after a gain of a couple.
Yeah, a long way to go to get only 1 or 2 yards there. First, Litcher bobbled the snap, and he was lucky to get the pitch to the running back, who was almost taken by one of the rushers. And a little bit of dancing, and they still only got about 2 yards, but you'll take it.
Absolutely, take what you can get. And that brings up a 3rd and 8 from the 17. Up to the line they go. Litcher with Karatza to his left. This time a 3-receiver set to his left. And we have some motion. As the tight end moves over to the right side, takes the snap, looking upfield, throws upfield, it's caught! Right around the 45, hauled in by Sam Pantera.
Yeah, he hit the ground and it came loose.
He wasn't able to hang on, so never mind that.
Yeah, that was a good-looking pass. Had the receiver right there. Just when he came to the ground, it came loose.
A rainbow right in his arms, and he can't hold on.
Yeah, nice throw.
So the Hillers will have to punt it away. So the Algonquin defense comes out, gets the job done. Avery Ravitch out to send it off.
Yeah, only about a minute time of possession for the Hillers right there.
Yeah, not a long possession at all. It was actually exactly 1 minute.
That's just what I thought.
End over end, and it's taken
Short
from the
punt,
42.
good coverage.
Certainly was. Algonquin will start off with pretty good field position as it was hauled in by Kevin Crispo, the sophomore, who couldn't get very far at all.
They had 2 guys back for that punt, hoping to get one guy to block for him. And he got a hold of one guy, but there were too many Hillers there to cover him.
So they mark him at about the 43. And Pemberton going to line it up out of the gun. Man in the backfield. 2 receivers to his right. Takes the snap, hands it off. Up the middle goes Dylan Tara, fighting his way to midfield. And a nice pickup there.
Yeah, he's got about 8 yards there. That was a nice run.
Just ran with authority right up the middle. And they're going to mark him in Hillers territory at the 49.
Gain of 8 on the first time carry, 2nd and 2 for the Titans from the Hiller 49.
Back to the line they go.
Back in a heavy run formation here.
Pemberton under center, a wishbone backfield. And he'll hand it off to the left back, fighting his way up the middle. Good for a yard.
And he's going to be about a little short. It looks like third and about half a yard.
There's Dylan Terra on the carry.
Well, they might measure that. Nope, yep, just about a half a yard.
That is very close. Looks like they're going to mark him a bit short. So I'd say third and about a half yard to go. Pemberton going to go under center once again, wishbone backfield. Motion from right to left. He'll hand it off to the right back, and he's brought down in the backfield. A big stop by Carlos Linton.
Real penetration by the nose guard there. Catches him in the backfield. He didn't even make it to the line of scrimmage.
So that brings up fourth down and about a yard to go. The question is, what do you do here? It looks like they're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it.
There's a nice hit by Linton. Carlos Linton, a junior, under center.
Oh, he gets him to jump with a hard count.
And he knew it too. Devin Canty jumped, and that's going to be a first down for Algonquin. And there goes the Algonquin fan section.
Yeah, first flag against the Hillers so far in this game. And that's a tough one right there. You're just about to hold them for a fourth down fourth down turnover would have been great.
Well, if it was practice, he'd have to run a lap.
Yeah.
Up to the 43 they go.
He still might have to tomorrow.
Right. Pemberton under center, wishbone backfield. Hands it off to the left back. Here goes Paul Ramos sweeping up the right side. Dragged out of bounds by Charlie Petruni at around the 40.
Yeah, it looks like a gain of 2 or 3 there.
Going to mark him at the 41, gain of 2. We'll make it a 2nd and 8. So far, we are seeing a whole lot of this Titans run game.
Yeah, they're getting to the edges, but they're not getting around the corner yet, though.
Pemberton under center, wishbone back set once again. Hands it off to the left back. Up the middle goes Terra, not very far, maybe a yard or 2.
Yeah, similar play to what they ran when they had the 3rd and short. Quick handoff to the inside runner, and both times he didn't really get much.
That brings up a 3rd and 6. And you'd imagine they're going to try some kind of pass play here. Pemberton out of the gun, back to his left. Trips receivers to his left.
Yeah, stacked up on the left in a bunch formation.
Takes the snap, and he's going to take it himself. Here he goes towards the first down and more up the sideline before he's finally brought out of bounds at around the 25.
Yeah, they used that bunch formation of the 3 receivers on the left to kind of clear that area. And he just ran and had a lot of room to go before anyone caught up to him.
So it pays off that time, and Algonquin in a hurry-up type offense as this is taken up the middle. This time it's Walter Rogers.
Yeah, that's good for about 6 or 7 right there.
Another good pickup as they went out of the power formation that time. Power eye. And they're going to do it once again, and this time it's a direct snap to the middle back, and he is brought down after about a yard. That was Dylan Terra.
Yeah, they're really closing up the formations here as they get close to the end zone.
So they are moving pretty quickly, trying to catch this Hiller defense off guard, going out of essentially a hurry-up offense, and here they go again, up the middle, and fighting his way to about the 5 on a big run there.
Yeah, they're running like a 3-back formation, like almost like a wishbone, but they're not running it a wishbone style.
And another quick snap, and this time they don't get very far.
Second and goal from about the 2.
Yeah, and they're just going right back up to that line. Pretty much no hesitation.
No wide receivers split out. It's all run.
And it's working, so they're going to continue to do it. And they'll hand it off to the left back. Up the middle he goes.
Pemberton says it's a touchdown, but the referee, there it is.
Yep, they give him the touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run, Dylan Terra. And that makes it a 6-0 Algonquin lead. And 5:10 left to go in the first quarter. So they end up going 57 yards on that drive in 3 minutes and 21 seconds.
I was going to say less than 4 minutes.
Yep. Now for the extra point. End over end, and it is no good.
No good.
So it'll remain a 6-0 Algonquin lead. 5:10 left to play in this first quarter. And we'll have to see if the Hillers offense is going to be able to respond, but I think the Titans might be onto something with this hurry-up style of offense.
Yeah, especially when they're running it heavy. Once those offensive linemen get rolling, it's tough to catch a wind on the hurry-up and stand up. It's a tough one. Yeah, let's see if the Hillers can get more than 1 minute of possession here and see if they can do something with it.
And Algonquin certainly has enough running backs to continue this style of offense. So this Hillers defense, I think they're going to be in for a bit of a cardio workout in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a physical one. When you got 3 running backs in the backfield, that's tough. You got to eye each one of them, see which one's got the ball, which would be difficult, and then the other 2 are blocking or running misdirection. So without it being real flashy, it does present problems.
It most certainly does. And the Hillers, they have been good against the run. They were good against the run last season, but certainly these hurry-up offenses gave them trouble at times. As this will sail end over end, near side to about the 30, and here's the return up the middle.
There he goes.
It's going to be a big one.
There he goes. He's going all the way. All the way.
Here he goes to the 20, the 10, and into
It's
the
a touchdown.
end zone. That's a Hiller touchdown. What a response. John Sanda, the junior, takes the kickoff all the way to the house.
It didn't look great when he caught it. He dropped it, put it on the ground. It didn't look like it was going to be a great start, but he picked it up and went right up the middle untouched.
So that's a touchdown of 70-something yards.
Yeah. There's not a deep kick. He wasn't the back receiver. He was one of the up men. And still got it, and off he went.
I believe he was at about the 27 when he returned it. I'm going to say 73 yards. As Avery Ravitch is out for the extra point. And that's a way to get some momentum if you're the Hillers.
I was hoping to get more than 1 minute of possession, but we'll take the touchdown instead.
Absolutely. Officially, that was 16 seconds of possession time. The snap, the extra point, end over end, right through goes Ravitch. It's 7-6. Hillers take the lead at 4:54 left to go in the first quarter. And perhaps my prediction of a defensive game wasn't all the way correct.
Well, it started that way, and then the last
technically
minute,
that was special teams.
Yeah, the last minute has been a little scoring explosion.
It certainly has. And the Hillers will kick off to Algonquin. Other TVL action going on tonight. You got Medfield at Dedham, Malden Catholic at Ashland, Medway at Holliston, Randolph at Millis, Bellingham at Westwood, Norton at Canton, Norwood at Falmouth, and Dover Sherborne will take on Nipmuc tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Avery Ravitch set to kick it away as the Hillers have just claimed the lead. About a 73-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by John Sanda. Ravitch having a little bit of trouble teeing up the ball there. A nice evening for Hiller football. And we have a volleyball update. The Hillers volleyball team defeated Westwood via a sweep. So that's good to see the Hiller girls volleyball team get back on the winning track after a couple of tough losses as Ravitch sends this end over end back to about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, good kick.
Very good kick. And the return's up the far side by Alex Klein to about the 20. So exactly what you want to do there if you're Avery Ravitch.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, it looks like the Hillers have the advantage in the kicking game, which is nice.
Well, they certainly do. Avery Ravitch, I believe he's also a captain on this year's team, but his kicking is sensational. And that's
1 for 1 on extra points, 2 kickoffs down to the 5, whereas Algonquin only kicks it to the 30 and he gives up a touchdown.
Right, and having a reliable kicker like the Hillers do, it's something that a lot of teams don't have. So that is certainly an advantage as the Hillers defense is going to come right through, right off the handoff and bring down, I believe that was Natalo Maggiolino.
And he's back that's a 5-yard loss. That's a big loss. So you're at 2nd and 15 here.
I think the Hillers defense wants to make up for what happened on the last drive, as they are going to go with a wishbone backfield. Under center is Pemberton, and he's going to roll to his right, roll to his left, throws to his left, incomplete to Terra.
Yeah, we're looking at it like a run-pass option there. So he was running around the end. He was going to keep it as far as he could go, or if the defense comes on him, lob it over his head to his running back. Didn't connect.
Brings up a 3rd and 15 to go from the 18-yard line.
This will be a big stop here for the Hillers.
Algonquin has not completed a pass up to this point. And Pemberton going to go out of the gun with a back to his right. 2 receivers spread out to his right as well. He'll roll to his right once again. Throws upfield, incomplete. A little too far ahead of his target, Chris Adrianson. And that brings up 4th down, and here comes the punting unit.
This will be good. The Hillers should get the ball in good field position. Hopefully starting up there, their offense can really start to roll.
Alex Klein set to kick it away. Back to receive for the Hillers is that is Colby Lavalnet. Snap and the kick. It's a wobbly punt that'll take a bounce at the 45. Be returned from about midfield. Here he goes, cutting up the near side, and he's brought out of bounds at around the 35 in Algonquin territory. There is a flag on the play.
Yeah, that's about a 15-yard return. Hopefully that doesn't get called back. Illegal use of hands on Hillers.
So it looks like this one may be coming back. It will indeed be called back to the 45.
10 yards from the end of the run, so it's still a net 5 for the Hillers. Still starting in Algonquin territory on the 45.
Yeah, at least that keeps you in Titans territory. Robert Litcher set to go, and a lineman jumped, and that is going to give the Hillers 5 yards. Jordan Lopez on the edge, jumping a little early. They will move up to the 40.
Yeah, nice way to start, 1st and 5.
Litcher out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield.
Oh, lucky whistle. So what happened there?
Yeah, did somebody jump again? Yeah,
That's
someone
coming
did,
back.
and this time it's against the Hillers.
Coming back.
Maybe some early season kinks they're trying to work out.
That snap, the quarterback, Litchard, didn't even get his hands on that snap. It hit him in the arm, bounced right into his running back's hands. So you got to make sure you get that center quarterback connection working well.
So it's going to remain first down.
Yeah, back to 1st and 10.
Litcher going to line it up out of the gun once again. Karatza in the backfield. 2 receivers spread out to either side. He'll hand it off. Karatza up the gut, and he is going to be wrapped up and dragged down at around the 42. So that's going to be a pickup of about 3.
Yeah, 3.5, almost 4.
Marking closer to the 41. It brings up 2nd and 6.
Now you see the end zone behind the goalpost. You see someone with the white shirt standing there with the tripod.
Up to the line they go.
Stop looking straight up from the base of the tripod.
Litcher once again out of the gun with Karatza in the backfield. 2 receivers either side. He's going to roll to his right, looking upfield, throws
Got him in.
upfield, and was that caught?
It's not really good. It's not
It
really
was
good
not.
anything other than maybe
That is going to be incomplete.
They had a nice play. The quarterback sprinted out to his right, got a good block from behind, so no pressure, and just couldn't connect on the on that dart that he threw.
Intended target was Charlie Petruni. And the only completed pass that we saw was called back due to a penalty as they'll get back up to the line. Or actually it was nearly completed. Ended up being incomplete. Robert Litcher out of the gun, takes the snap, throws to his right, and he throws a screen over to Seamus Murphy. Murphy battling up the far side.
Looks like he's got the
Gets to
first down.
35 and definitely has enough for the first down. They will indeed move the chains in
Moving
an
the chains.
11-yard pickup.
That's going to be good for first down yardage. 1st and 10 Hillers from the Titan 35.
2:37 and counting left to go in the first quarter. 7-6 Hiller lead. And this Hopkinton offense starting to move in Algonquin territory. Robert Litcher, their quarterback in his senior year. Got a lot of playing time as a sophomore. He's going to pitch it back to Karatza. Karatza going to cut up the left side, and he's just shaking off defenders, and he fights his way to the 30-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Let's see who the guilty party is.
And it looks like
they're
the
pointing-
vicinity of a holding penalty.
Yep. It will be coming back. So that is going to be, I think, the 5th penalty of the day for the Hillers, as they are pushed back to the 44-yard line.
All that work, and they've only got 1 yard on this possession.
2nd and 20.
Yep. Those penalties will hurt you.
Come on, boys.
So that is going to make it 1st and 19 to go from the 44-yard line. Litcher out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. 2 receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap. Looks to his left. Throws to his left. Has a target. It's hauled in by Karatza. Here he
Good
goes.
cutback.
Up the middle. Fighting his way to the 20. Still on his feet. And it takes several Titans to bring him down as he gets close to the 15-yard line. About a 30-yard pickup.
Yeah, that was a great individual play by the receiver. Once he caught the ball, just shaking off those defenders and making everybody miss. That was a fantastic run.
28-yard pickup to be exact as they mark him at the 17, and Carazza, once he gets the ball in open field, look out. Also a very good hockey player, so he could take a couple of hits before he's knocked off his feet. Everett Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Carazza in the backfield.
Timeout.
Yeah, looks like we might have a timeout. And we will have a timeout.
Algonquin
Algonquin wants to talk things over. 1 minute, 11 seconds left to go. Hillers leading 7-6. And they are driving into Algonquin territory. And Wally, it's good to see this Hiller offense open up a little bit. You're seeing a pretty good pass and run mix now.
Yeah, this is a good possession right here. Even though they've had a few penalties and called back, they are kind of moving the ball with each play. It beats that first possession where they really just kind of get stood up right at the goal line. I mean, right at their line of scrimmage for 3 plays and out. So this has been much better.
It certainly has, and hopefully they'll be able to come up with some points on this drive and have a nice, comfortable lead. A couple updates to tell you about. Hiller boys soccer in Westwood, after a very competitive physical game, ended in a tie, 0-0 tie. That game was live on HCAM. Hiller girls volleyball won via sweep against Westwood. A nice win for them. And in football action, Ashland is leading 7-0 right now over Malden Catholic with 30 seconds left to play in the first quarter. We are ready to go off the timeout. Robert Litcher going to line it up out of the pistol this time. Carazza in the backfield, 2 receivers either side, takes the snap, rolls to his right, in trouble, gets rid of it, and just above the head of his intended target, Charlie Petruni.
Yeah, he kind of got flushed out of the pocket there and had to rush his throw.
And he nearly had him. Pass was a little high. That brings up 2nd and 10 from the 19. The 18, rather. So it looks like the Hillers starting to try to break out the pass game a little bit. Robert Litcher out of the gun, Carazza in the backfield, motion right to left, Petruni in motion, and it is going to be Carazza getting the ball, fighting his way along the far side.
Still with the ball.
And there is a flag, and he's going to come towards the near side, the 10, the 5, pushed out of bounds around the 2, but I have a feeling this one's coming back.
Yeah, when you see that flag where that was, you assume it's a holding. But wow, he is electric out there. He was dead 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage and somehow broke free and got all the way to the 2-yard line.
The fact he was able to even move forward.
We've got an Algonquin player down.
We have an injured Algonquin Titan on the field, 50 seconds left. We hope he's okay. Carazza with a good run there will be coming back some yards after what is likely a holding call. But just the fact it wasn't negative yardage there is pretty amazing.
All right, the Algonquin player is moving off the field under his own power, which is nice. Good to see.
And the injured player.
Is that Josh Colburn? 64? I'll defer to you. You've got the binoculars.
I believe it's Colburn. I thought I was seeing. Yeah, it's 64. So Josh Colburn, he's walking off under his own power, so appears to be okay. 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter. A 2nd and 10 situation as they move back to the 19. So they're back at the initial line of scrimmage.
They're actually back at the 25.
Or excuse me.
Yeah, so they're looking at about a 15-yard to gain.
So at the 25, so they ended up losing 6 yards as this is thrown to Litcher's right, over towards Sam Pantera, incomplete. Pass a little off the mark. That brings up a 3rd and 17 from the 25. So the Hillers have their work cut out for them in this 3rd down situation. And this was a drive that started off promising, but penalties have hurt the Hillers.
Yeah, that last holding penalty really kind of hurts. If they don't convert this, they're looking at a long field goal from where they are. But hopefully you get it closer, you can make a kick more manageable.
Litcher,
if not, get the first down. Sorry, Tom.
No problem. Litcher takes the snap. And he's going to throw upfield to his right, and is that caught? And it's incomplete.
Might have been intercepted in the end zone.
Was it intercepted? It was indeed intercepted. It looked like Seamus Murphy was about to come down with it, lost it, and it was intercepted.
Yeah, he really threw a jump ball over there in the corner of the end zone. That's a shame to come away with nothing after your offense looked pretty good there.
So Algonquin will get the ball back with 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And they are going to line it up with Pemberton under center, man in the backfield. And it's going to be a run up the left side and a couple of yards there.
Yeah, 1 or 2 yard gain there. He was met right at the line of scrimmage.
That'll take us to the end of the first quarter.
And that is going to be the last play of the quarter. So some ups and downs in this first quarter as the Hillers had a promising drive going, where at one point they were all the way up to the 18-yard line in Algonquin territory, but a holding call sent them back and they weren't able to revive themselves after that, and it ended in an end zone interception. And now momentum swings back to Algonquin, but we'll see what the Hiller defense has to say about that.
Yeah, the defense looked good on their last time out. They really held Algonquin to nothing, so which gave them good position, good field position to move in. But Carrazza really looks great out there running with the ball in tight spaces and in open spaces.
So we'll get you some TVL updates while we await the second quarter. Norton football trailing Canton 6-0 after the first quarter. Also in action is Medfield and Dedham. Dedham leading Medfield 14-7. They were at last check in the first quarter with about 6 minutes left to play. We'll be trying to get you TVL updates throughout the course of tonight's game. Norton boys soccer fell to Dover Sherborne 3-0 today. And we are ready to start. We have switched ends. Algonquin working right to left across your screen. To the line they go. And they're going to go out of the pistol this time. He takes the snap, throws upfield, incomplete.
Yeah, leaves him with a long third down conversion here. 3rd and 8. Really overthrew his receiver there.
Pemberton was looking for Dylan Terra. And some good defense by the Hillers upfield. In this situation, you have to expect possibly another pass attempt here. They are going to put Pemberton out of the gun.
4 receivers out there and a running back.
Back to his left, 3 receivers to his right. Takes the snap. Rolls to his right, under pressure, up the sideline, and it is going to be caught. It is short of the first down.
Brought down by Paul Litcher for the Hillers.
Paul Litcher on the tackle.
Sets up the fourth down.
And that'll set up a 4th down and about 6 to go, so they're going to bring out the punt team. As you would expect, that was Sean Desmond on the reception. But they will have to punt it away. Nearly blocked, but it is a high-flying punt back to the 35. And the punt returner, Charlie Petruni, does not get very far as he is immediately met with a hit.
Yeah, he was smothered right when he caught the ball. That, by far, Algonquin's best kick, punt or kick.
Certainly was very good hang time on that punt.
Yeah, it allowed the coverage to be right there when Petruni caught it.
So the Hillers start this drive at the 30-yard line. They will work left to right across your screen. Robert Litcher going to come out of the gun, back to his right. Stacked receivers to his right as well, and he'll hand it off to Carazza, getting the call. Around the edge he goes, and he's met with a big hit at around the 34-yard line. In on the hit for Algonquin was Brian Toussaint, the junior.
Yeah, he played that really well. He stayed right with Carazza, paralleled him the whole length, and then didn't let him get around the edge. A lot of running for very little gain.
Yeah, it looks like they gave him maybe a yard. So this Titan defense starting to tighten up a little bit. Litcher going to come out of the gun once again with Carazza in the backfield. Two receivers spread out to either side.
We got a timeout.
We indeed have a timeout. It's going to be a Hiller timeout. 10-12 left to go in the first half. A 7-6 Hiller lead. And that gives us a chance to remind you, starting next Wednesday, check out HCAM Must See TV Wednesdays. We'll have all our premier programs, brand new HCAM Sports Talk starting at 5:30 p.m., followed by HCAM News at 6:30, and our brand new program, Hopkinton Weekly, at 7 p.m. That's HCAM Must See TV Wednesdays. Off the timeout, we're ready to go.
Here we go. Is it long? Third down.
Litcher with an empty back set. Carazza in motion. He'll get the call. Taking it up the left side, and once again he's brought down after a minimal gain. Might have even been a small loss. Chris Adrianson in on the tackle.
Yeah, it really wasn't a seam for him to find. He's bouncing along the line, and he just couldn't find a seam to get through.
And we're going to have a penalty against Algonquin. That is going to give the Hillers a first down. I believe it was unsportsmanlike conduct.
15-yarder.
Yep, that is big. That is the last thing you want if you're Algonquin. You're just giving the Hillers some momentum here, and they've had a lot of trouble on this drive finding that. Let's see if this could be a turning point for the Hillers.
Yeah, that's a real gift. They were at 4th and 8 right there, and to give them a first down.
Litcher out of the gun. Carazza in the backfield. Takes the snap, looks to his right, throws to his right. It's hauled in by Seamus Murphy at around the 42.
Great pass. He really dropped that right in between two defenders. Only place that Murphy could catch it. That's a great pass and a good catch.
It's going to be a 10-yard pickup on the reception, his second reception of the day.
First down.
Actually, they marked him at the 40, so make that a 12-yard reception. So the Hiller is in Algonquin territory. Well, the run game wasn't having much success, so perhaps they're going to reopen up the pass game. Witcher going to line up out of the gun once again. Karatza in the backfield. Takes the snap and...
Yeah, a little movement there on the before the snap.
That's going to push them back 5.
Back to those up 5 yards. First and 15 from the Titan 45-yard line.
That'll make it a first and 15 from the 45.
Well, the Hillers just don't want to make it easy for themselves yet. The penalties are really starting to hurt the drives. They're getting good plays, and then they're knocking themselves back.
Seems like for both teams, they do something good, and then there's a penalty that just kind of ruins the momentum.
Right.
Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. 2 receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws to his left, hauled in by Murphy. And Murphy is going to be dragged back and brought down. We'll see where they mark him with the forward progress. He took a couple steps back. He was close to the first down.
Yeah, where he first caught it, yeah. They tried to make a move and lost a couple yards.
So they mark him at the 44. Ends up being a 3-yard
gain.
pickup.
Second and 12 for the Hillers from the 44-yard line.
Litcher out of the gun once again is going to pitch it back to Karatza.
He needs a block.
On the end around, and he will be brought down at the 44, so pretty much at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he needed a blocker there, and he couldn't get one, and he couldn't escape the defender on the edge.
So you can give him maybe a half yard there.
For the Hillers. Just inside the 43-yard line.
That brings up 3rd down and 12 to go. You have to expect that they'll probably try a pass here. They have not been able to get many big gains via the run. There was one gain in the double digits, but Karatza, a 28-yard run. Empty back set, takes the snap, looks to his right, throwing towards Karatza, and it's knocked away. Good defensive play by the captain, Patrick Hanlon, breaking it up. And that brings up 4th down. Avery Ravitch is going to come out to likely punt it away.
Good coverage by Algonquin on these long passes that the Hillers keep trying. The Algonquin defenders are right there step for step with the receivers.
Yeah, we're seeing some pretty good defensive back play in this game by both sides. And Avery Ravitch set to punt it away, hoping to pin Algonquin back deep in their own territory. Certainly has the leg to do it.
Yeah, ideally he'll want a nice high kick.
Snap and the kick. It is a nice sailing kick all the way back to about the 10-yard line, and it's fairly caught, and that is where the Algonquin offense will start.
Nice kick, really well done.
That was a beauty of a sailing kick there by Ravitch. And the Hillers, they certainly have a defense that you can trust in this situation. No need to go for it when you're pretty close to midfield.
Yeah, in high school, most kickers don't have the leg for a field goal that way. You don't consider it. But when you have a good punter who can pin your other team back, that's great.
Pemberton under center with a man in the backfield. Rush up the left side.
About a 6-yard gain there.
And they're going to give them about
They're
3
going
or
right
4.
back to the hurry up here.
This worked for them earlier, and it's going to be another run, this time up the middle.
So now we're looking at about a 3rd and 2 here.
Gain of about 3 there. And here they go,
Right
right
up
back
under
up to
center.
the line. And this time the Hillers defense ready for it.
They had him look behind the line of scrimmage, and he managed to sidestep that first defender, but the rest of them were right there behind him.
There's Kevin Persona and Colby.
So we're looking at 4th and 2 here, and Algonquin's going to huddle up to decide what to do here now.
Persona and Lavalnet in on that last tackle. 5:15 and counting left to go. And they actually did take some time to huddle there.
Let's hope they don't get in the jump.
Pemberton under center. And it looks like maybe some confusion. He's looking to the sideline.
He's trying to get the Hillers to jump off sides.
So they will indeed punt it away. And that would have been pretty dangerous to go for it in that situation. I mean, they still may, you never know, but that would just, if the Hillers stop you, then that's just another momentum turning.
Right, really would be. So you have to assume that they really weren't going to snap it. They had luck pulling the Hillers off sides earlier in a similar situation. They were trying to do it again. And good for the Hillers to learn from their one mistake, and everybody's set, no one jumps.
Yeah. They had 2 or 3 offsides calls so far, but fortunately they weren't falling for it that time. Clock is stopped at 4:54 left to go. Don't forget to stick around at the half. We'll show you the Hopkinton High School band who will be performing. Cheerleaders here as well for the halftime festivities. Out to punt it away, Alex Klein, the senior.
Oh, wow, was that close.
Nearly blocked. It sails to the 45, a pretty good punt, and it's going to take an Algonquin roll back to the 36, and that's where the Hillers offense will start.
We got a flag back near the punter, so that looks like either a running into the punter or a roughing the kicker.
And hold everything. This could be coming back.
The Hillers were all over that kick. I'm not surprised one of those two guys took out the kicker.
They're going to have running into the kicker.
Looks like the call's going to be running into the kicker on the Hillers.
So Algonquin is going to get the ball back.
It's going to be a first down.
It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 25.
From the 25-yard line after given a penalty.
So that is a huge momentum shift in favor of Algonquin.
Yeah, big turn of events right there.
You're about to get the ball back, and now you give Algonquin the ball back with a fresh set of downs. Pemberton rolling to his right. He finds Dylan Terra. Up the sideline he goes. Brought down at around the 28, 29-yard line.
Got about 4 yards there.
Close to 5 on the break route.
Another one where Pemberton likes to sprint out to his right and throw to a slot receiver.
Algonquin back in the hurry up. And it's going to be another run up the middle. Fighting his way forward and still fighting. Should have enough for the first down. What a run that was.
Yeah, he had the whole Algonquin team on his back pushing him.
And that was Paul Ramos.
That's a team effort.
Certainly was. They're up to the 35. Ended up being a 7-yard run. And they'll go wishbone back set once again. And it's going to be a pitch to the right back. And he will cut up the left side. And maybe pick up a yard. That was Dylan Terra.
Yeah, they're really in a good hurry up here. A lot of momentum for them. They're going faster than the Chains guys can keep up with them.
So they gave him 2 yards. Another run up the middle, and it close to the first down before being brought down is Owen Elworth, the sophomore running back. So they're getting everybody involved here with this hurry-up offense as they work their way up to the 47. Ended up being an 8-yard pickup. And we'll have yet another run, this time to the right side. And across midfield he goes.
Yeah, now the offensive line is really starting to get a good push for Algonquin. They're not trying to run around the ends anymore. They're trying to go right up the tackles.
That time it was Dylan Terra. And they're going to do it again and have another successful run, this time up to the Hillers 40.
Yeah, the chains guys aren't even putting the chains down. They're just walking.
I don't blame them.
They're staying right with them.
It was Paul Ramos that time. 7-yard run and a smart timeout call by the Hillers. I'm sure the defense feeling a little bit tired right now.
Yeah, that offensive line is really putting the push on Hopkinton. And, yeah, they're just getting rolled backwards.
This Algonquin offense, certainly impressive. They got a lot of running backs they could use. We've seen Paul Ramos, Dylan Terra, Sean Desmond's gotten in there, Patrick Hanlon, number of guys they can go to. And that's what they did against Doherty Memorial last week, and they just kind of overwhelmed them with the running game. And they had several running backs in double digits. They're going to put Pemberton under center, and they'll go with a wishbone backfield. Or they're going to go power eye in the backfield. They'll hand it off to the right back, and he will fight his way towards the 35, right about at the 36 he was brought down.
Yeah, we're looking at 2nd and 7 here.
Here they go again.
Right up the middle again. Or another 3 yards.
And they're just kind of nickel and diming their way up the field. And it's paying off. But you wonder if they'll get tired at some point. Still a whole another half to play. Back to pass now, in trouble.
Oh,
and he's going to escape.
Free.
Pemberton working his way up the field and somehow picks up positive yardage. And not only that, gets very close to a first down. He's going to be marked, it looks like, just short. Ended up being a 4-yard pickup by Pemberton. And he was nearly brought down for a loss. But
right up the middle.
able to slip
They're a
by.
quarterback keeper for a first down.
Yep, there he goes. Able to slip by a couple tackles on that last run, and now moves the chains with this one, a little 2-yard run.
Now, in the hurry up like this, you're talking about them getting tired.
There's a handoff to the right back out of the power eye. It's Paul Ramos that time.
Usually it's the guys that are getting pushed that get tired, and the guys that are pushing seem to eat it up and get energized by it.
That run was good for about 4 yards. Up the middle, good for a couple. Ramos again on the call. And that is going to bring up 3rd down and about 5 to go. And this time getting the call is going to be Owen Elworth. And he got very close to the first down. They might bring out the chains for this, and they're going to. Or are they?
Yeah, the chainsmen look confused. It looks like it should be short by 1. It looks like 4th and 1 from here.
It looks like it's marked just inside the 20. So right now they have them for about a 5-yard pickup. And I believe this is an official's stoppage here.
Yeah, they're trying to get the chains straightened out. It is first down.
They do indeed move the chains. Well, if you're the Hillers, you got a minute 12 left to go. You shouldn't be shy about calling a timeout to try to slow this offense down a little bit. And fighting his way up the middle, not a lot this time.
No, it looked like they stopped him right at the line of scrimmage there.
That was Dylan Terra.
About 2 yards.
Another run. This time they go to the big fullback, Owen Elworth. And he gets another yard or two as they just chip away up the field.
Say about 3rd and 5 now. I like what they're doing here with this hurry up, and they're just going right between the tackles. It's really successful.
And this time it's going to be play action, rolling to his left, and ran out of bounds at around the 10 is Pemberton. So you can mark him for another 5 yards there. And that is enough to move the chain, so it's first and goal. They mark him at the 7. So first and goal from the 7-yard line, and the Hillers Algonquin going to take a timeout with 24 seconds
Here's
left
the
to go.
timeout that you were talking about that the Hillers need.
Yeah, I think that was just Algonquin taking it to stop the clock and maybe take a breather for themselves.
Yeah, the Hillers could use it too. Yeah, absolutely. It's 24 seconds to go. Clock is rolling.
So, in case you forgot, this drive started all the way at the Algonquin 10-yard line, and there was 6:27 on the clock at the time. And they have ate up a whole lot of clock with this drive, just kind of nickel and diming their way up the field. 2, 3, 4-yard runs, and they've gotten just enough to keep those chains moving.
Yeah, you average over 3 yards per play, and you never have to punt.
Right? And that's essentially what they are doing, and it is paying off. First and goal from the 7. Pemberton under center. 3 in the backfield out of the power eye. They go to Paul Ramos up the middle. And he got inside the 5. How close to the goal line did he get?
He looks very close.
Looks like he might be at the 1.
Yeah.
Say that again, John. It was a little too loud. Sorry.
So about a 6-yard pickup.
10 seconds left. Clock's still moving.
And this time the Hillers defense is going to come up a little short on the stop. They thought they had the stop, but it looked like, or was he able to get in? Let's see. I saw conflicting signs. All right.
Yeah, I
Looks like
thought
are
they
giving
called
them
the touchdown. Yep.
So Dylan Terra gets the job done and gets into the end zone to make it a 12-7 Algonquin lead.
4 seconds to go in the half.
And will they go for 2 here is the question.
All things considered, I think I would go for 2. They're having really good luck running the ball inside, especially for short yardage. And their kicking game is a little suspect so far.
All right, I think that's exactly what they are thinking. And it looks like they will indeed go for 2. Pemberton under center. Run up the middle. Did he get in? Looks like he might have been short.
They stopped him.
No, he did not.
They stopped him.
So it will remain a 12-7 game. It was a 1-yard touchdown run by Dylan Terra to put them up 12-7. They miss on the 2-point conversion. And that was a 6-minute and 23-second drive. They ate up a good portion of the second quarter. It was a drive they went 90 yards on.
That was an impressive drive.
Certainly was.
Almost all on the ground. And almost all between the tackles.
Hey, John, if the folks look at the screen close, they can see the International Space Station flying overhead. Go.
And folks, I've been told if you look at your screen closely, you can see the International Space Station flying overhead. So we got a space station over this game. As they kick off, and it'll sail back to the 20-yard line. Looked like that was Noah Coutone on the kick that time, and it's going to be returned up to about the 38 on the return with Seamus Murphy. But the Hillers are not even going to have enough time to run a play. That is going to do it for the first half. At the end of the first 2 quarters, it is Algonquin 12, Hopkinton 7. Wally, that half didn't end quite like you wanted it to, but certainly still a lot of football left to be played. And I'm sure when the Hillers go into the locker room, they'll be talking about how to stop that Algonquin hurry-up offense.
Yeah, that was very effective, and on the ground it ate up a ton of clock. I mean, that they ate up about 7 or 8 minutes on that drive, and they were relentless, going right up between the tackles, 3 to 6 yards at every run. It was really impressive to watch, and really tiring out the Hiller defensive line or the front 7.
Well, we got a whole nother half to play, a whole lot of football to go. So we are going to take a short break, but we are going to allow you to enjoy the scenery of the halftime show. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Football on HCAM at the half. It is Algonquin leading Hopkinton 12-7 on HCAM. Enjoy the halftime show, everybody, and we'll talk to you on the other side.
the ticket. The winning number is as follows: 146981. 146981. Please come to the raffle table to earn your prize. Thank you.
We have the Hopkins Health and Wellness Fair on South Common from 11 to 3. And also Family Day at the high school from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Fireworks at 8 o'clock.
And welcome back to David M. Hughes Field. We are ready for the second half between the Hopkinton Hillers and the Algonquin Tomahawks. A 12-7 Algonquin lead as we enter half number 2 of what has been a pretty good battle here in week 2 of the season. Algonquin is set to kick it away, left to right across your screen. And kicking it away is Jordy Paguda.
Another short one.
That'll sail.
Let that go out of bounds.
Right. Sails to the
and that's a penalty.
A legal procedure. So Johnny Paguada, he wasn't the original kicker. I think they're trying different people out at this point. But the Hillers are going to have pretty good field position in this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, the Algonquin kicking game's been a little subpar today.
They will start off from their own 35 and work right to left across your screen. And we'll see if they can get this offense going. Some TBL halftime updates. Westwood leading Bellingham 26-7. Dedham leading Medfield 34-13. Canton leading Norton 19-0. Holliston over Medway 35-0. And Ashland leading Malden Catholic 21-0. Out of the gun, it's going to be a handoff on the end around is Petruni.
He's going
to keep fighting.
He's still up.
A first down and more to midfield. Still up, pushing the pile. Look at that power.
Wow.
To the 45 he goes.
That's an extra 10 yards just on the scrum right there.
What a run that was.
That's a great
20-yard pickup by Petruni.
You really like to see the team come out on a play like that and start the second half. That's a real pick-me-up right there.
It certainly is.
20-yard play, 10 of it when it's just team pushing team.
And that was the first handoff we've seen to Petruni. I think maybe we'll see that a little more frequently. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. And he'll go to Karatza. Karatza going to fight his way up the middle. And he's going to pick up about 5 yards.
Yeah, that's a tough run right there. I don't want to shortchange Petruni at all. And his run before, he really caught some extra yards after first getting hit just to get the first 10 yards before everybody bounced into it. Impressive run by the player and then the rest of the team.
Well, the Hillers have already got more than a third of their offensive production in the entirety of the first half. 61 yards of offense in the first half compared to 142 yards of offense for Algonquin. 136 of those Algonquin yards were on the ground. Hillers 26 yards through the air, 35 on the ground. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Karatz in the backfield. 2 receivers spread out to either side. Litcher rolls to his right, under pressure, looking upfield. Throws upfield. It's batted, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Aiden Callahan, the junior. And we've been seeing this all night. You have a great play, and then something happens on the following play. That is not good.
Yeah, anytime they get a little bit of momentum, something bad happens, and that's a tough one right there. Hits off the receiver, bats around a few players, and then finally comes down in Algonquin's possession.
So Algonquin will start this drive from their own 33, 10-16 left to go in the third quarter.
And they're making no bones about it. They're coming right out and doing what they did on the last drive to end that first half.
Power eye in the backfield, Pemberton under center. He will go to the left back, and he fights his way forward for a yard or two. On the run that time, it was Owen Elworth, the sophomore.
And they're right back up to the line of scrimmage again. They're going hurry up here.
Right back to it.
Inside handoff. There's another 3 yards there. So they're looking at about 3rd and 5 here now. And they're right up over the ball now.
Another couple of yards for Paul Ramos.
Hillers is trying desperately to sub on the fly here.
And Power Eye once again in the backfield, this time motion left to right, and he's going to roll out, throws to his right, it's hauled in at the 45-yard line. That should be enough for the first down. Owen Elworth, and will move the chains. 7-yard pickup on the reception. It's only the third completion of the game for Algonquin. Power Eye once again. This time they go to the right back. You never know who they're going to go to out of that formation. And it is Chris Adrianson for a yard. And is he hurt? He looks like he shook it up.
Something's bad. Yep. Hiller players ran away. Oh, his leg is bent the complete wrong way. Oh, boy. Take the camera off of that.
He is hurt, and 9 minutes, 9 seconds left to go. We're going to step aside on HCAM. Nine minutes, 9 seconds left in the third quarter, and a bad injury on the field. Chris Adrianson sustained a leg injury. We certainly hope he's going to be okay, but certainly a tough injury, and it's an unfortunate part of this sport, but we are stepping aside to allow him to get the treatment he needs, and hopefully he will be okay. But we are in the third quarter. It is a 12-7 Algonquin lead. So we will once again step aside. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Football on HCAM. We certainly want to give our very best to Chris Adrianson, as he was badly injured on a play, and as you can see, they have the ambulance out, and they will be taking him to the hospital. We certainly hope he's okay, and that's just a tough fact about this game. It can be vicious at times, and unfortunately, it's a game that sometimes features very bad injuries like we just witnessed, Wally.
Yeah, that's really a tough one, and you hate to see when that happens, but everybody knows it's a possibility. But it is gut-wrenching to see it when it happens.
It certainly is, and I have to say I've called a lot of football games. I haven't seen anything quite like that. I've seen some bad ones, but we certainly hope that he is okay. And one thing we do know is they certainly have Hopkinton's best out there that are taking care of Chris, so that is certainly a good thing that we have very good medical professional here to take care of these injuries, and you saw how quick they got out there. It was certainly impressive, but we give our very best to Chris Adrianson, who was unfortunately injured on that last play. But once they get the ambulance off the field, we'll be ready to continue this football game, although I'm sure it's tough for players on both teams to really want to continue this game after witnessing something like that.
Yeah, it really will take it out of both teams. Any kind of momentum you had, any kind of enthusiasm that you had for the game or for more contact, it's a rough one. Even for I feel it. The spectators probably all feel it's a tough one to come back from and think about enjoying the game.
It certainly is, and I'd say even tough for us to continue to announce this game
right.
Anyway. But they will continue and play with heavy hearts over what they just saw. And I'm sure Algonquin will be motivated to try to play for their injured teammate. But certainly a tough thing to witness. And we give our very best to Chris Adrianson and wish him well in his days of recovery.
Yep, he'll hopefully he's going to have a tough few days ahead of him here, but I hope it all goes better than we anticipate.
But at the stoppage, it's 9:09 left to go in the third quarter. 12-7 Algonquin lead. Algonquin has the ball. And they will be facing a 2nd and 9 from the 47 once we're ready to continue on. But again, certainly tough to continue on after an injury like that. But it is a tough physical sport, and unfortunately at times those injuries can occur. But you always wish that you don't have to see it or it doesn't occur at all. But we wish him well. Looks like they're ready to escort the ambulance off the field. But we are in an injury timeout here on HCAM. And we'll step aside once again until they're ready to continue play.
Hey, what's up? I didn't see you.
Welcome back, and we are ready to continue on over that very unfortunate injury to Chris Adrianson. Algonquin has the ball. It is 2nd and 9 at the 48-yard line. And we are ready to go. Although I'm sure all these players are going to be playing with heavy hearts, thinking about Chris and that very unfortunate injury. We'll continue on. And hopefully not see any more injuries today.
Yeah, hopefully not is right.
Algonquin is back up to the line, and here we go in the third quarter. As Pemberton lines up under center, man in the backfield, play action, throws up the middle,
wide open.
has a target, and dropped by his intended target, Patrick Hanlon. And that'll bring up 3rd and 9 for Algonquin. That was a good pass, receiver wide open, just couldn't hang on.
The receiver had gotten past the safeties in like a zone defense, and he was wide open, and the ball hit him right in the stomach, it looked like. And unfortunately for him, he just couldn't hang on. No one even hit him, no one near him.
Back up to the line they go. And Pemberton going to line it up out of the gun with a back to his right. 3 receivers spread out to his left. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws to his left, and it's incomplete. A little high towards his intended target, Sean Desmond.
Yeah, they kind of, since we've come back, they've abandoned that, between the tackles running and opened up their offense, throwing a couple of long passes and couldn't connect.
Alex Klein back to punt it away for Algonquin. A couple updates to tell you about. Volleyball, Millis defeated Dedham 3-0. And in football, Holliston leading Medway Big 41-0.
Well, that's a big one. That is a big burger right there.
So Holliston making a statement tonight. As this punt is going to sail up the near side, lands at the 20, takes an Algonquin roll inside the 10, and the Hillers are going to start this drive from their own 9.
Yeah, they got a long way to go here.
8:22 left to go in the third quarter as the Hillers offense is back out on the field, ready to go, and they're going to try to see if they can get some momentum. They've had a couple of long drives deep into Algonquin territory that didn't turn up any points.
Yeah, every time they get a little bit of momentum, we've said it a few times already, they get a little bit of momentum and then they do something that hurts them.
Tom Nappy-Wally, very happy to be with you on the call for Hopkinton Hillers varsity football. Karatza getting the call here up the middle, and he doesn't get very far. Maybe a yard.
Yeah, not a lot of running room there. I don't think he even made it to the 10.
It looks like they're going to mark him back at the 8, so loss of 1 for Karatza. The Hillers, they have had a pretty fair mix of run and pass, and they're just really trying to find what works against this stingy Algonquin defense. Litcher out of the gun once again. A 2-back set. Takes the snap. He'll pitch it to his left. And here goes Karatza fighting his way up the near side. And he's brought out of bounds around the 12, 13-yard line. A pickup of 4 or 5.
He really is like an electric runner. He gets out there, and he's hard to tackle, but unfortunately he's running east and west so far today and not a whole lot of north and south. So he runs about 20 yards there, but he only picks up 2. It's unfortunate.
3rd and 5 from the 14-yard line. Litcher lined up out of the gun with Karatza to his left. 3 receivers to his left, and we have motion, but we're going to get a whistle here. We'll have a timeout called by the Hillers. They want to talk things over. So the second-year head coach will take a timeout and decide what to do here. Coach Mark Sanborn, who's done a great job with this program, and they were a very young team last year, inexperienced at the varsity level, a lot of them were, but Now they got that full season of experience, and they have big hopes for what the season could bring. Certainly a pretty tough schedule, however. But it should be a fun season of Hiller football. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. Trips bunch, receivers to his right, takes a snap, throws up the middle, and it's dropped. It was right in the hands of Sam Pantera, but he couldn't hang on, and that brings up 4th down.
That's a shame. That's a first down right there. He found a soft spot in the defense all alone, but in a lot of traffic, and that's a shame he dropped that one.
So the Hillers will likely punt it away here. And we exchange punts as we come off that injury stoppage. As Avery Ravitch set to send it away. Snap and the punt. It's not a very long one. Had a good amount of hanging time back to the 41 and it returned up to the 34-yard line. So the Titans going to have some good field position to start this drive.
Yeah, they really are. They're starting. What'd you say, down in the 34? That's a real short field to work with. Hopefully the Hiller defense can come up big here.
6:38 left to go. And here comes the Algonquin offense. Pemberton going to line it up under center. Lone man in the backfield. And he is going to hand it off to Dylan Terra, who fights his way up the middle before being taken down at around the 30. We'll mark him at the 31, pickup of 3.
Yeah.
And they are starting to perhaps get back into that hurry-up mode as they move a little faster up to the line. Pemberton is going to line it up out of the gun, takes the snap, and he's going to take it himself up the middle and doesn't get much. Actually may have lost a yard as he's dragged down by Carlos Linton and company.
Yeah, they were showing a formation with the triple bunch receivers on the right. They ran that play earlier today where the receivers kind of cleared out the area and he followed behind. This time it didn't work for them and he lost a yard.
And you got to give credit to Algonquin as running this hurry-up offense, the quarterback and the running backs especially, but really everyone on the offense has to know where they got to be, and they've done it successfully. And now they're slowing it down a little bit, but it did work earlier in the game as Pemberton going to take this himself up the far sideline, and he's brought out of bounds after a minimal gain. A big hit there. In on the stop was Carlos Linton and Charlie Petruni.
Yeah, Algonquin's really getting away from what was successful for them especially in that second quarter where they were going hurry up. They had 3 running backs in the game, running everything between the tackles. Now they're really trying to spread things out. Quarterback is running to the sidelines, and we've got receivers on the field. It's a totally different look.
It certainly is. Perhaps they just wanted to ease their way back into it. But right now they face a 4th and 5 from the Hillers 28-yard line.
And it's too close to the goal line to punt and too far away to kick a field goal. So they're going to go for it.
Most certainly.
Looks that way, right?
Yeah, I think they will. They really wouldn't gain much of a benefit from punting, but they're going to talk it over. Looks like they will take a timeout. 4 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
If they were to punt and it rolls into the end zone, you're looking at just a 10-yard net.
Right.
So it's not worth it. You go for it, and then if you don't make it, you still got Hopkinton with 70 yards to go.
I'd imagine that's what they will do. Let's take a look, while we have a moment, at the Hillers' upcoming schedule. After tonight, the Hillers will next be in action next Saturday in Westboro, Saturday the 24th at Westboro. That'll be a 1 p.m. game. Then they'll be back home on Friday, September 30th, a 7 p.m. meeting with Foxborough. That should be a good battle. And then after that, they got Norwood on October 7th at home, a 7 p.m. game. And then on the road in Medfield on the 14th for a Friday night battle. Then on the 21st on the road in Westwood. And then they close out regular season play against Holliston at home on October 28th. Of course, you can catch all the home action right here on HCAM. And they are going to line it up. Will they punt or will they try something tricky? They're going to try something tricky and it's not going to pay off. They handed it to Owen Elworth and he was dragged down by Colby Lavalette. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and he lost 5 or 6 yards on that play. That's a worst-case scenario. Even if you throw an incomplete pass, you don't lose any yards.
So a good defensive stop by the Hillers. And they get the ball back. And we'll start from their own 34. Working right to left across your screen. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Karatz in the backfield. Receiver spread out to either side. Motion from right to left. He'll hand it off to Petruni on the end around, and he is going to be brought down after a couple.
That was the same play that they ran before, which really was very successful. He got a good 10 yards before contact, or fighting through contact. Then the team came and pushed him for another 10 yards. That really started a time of good momentum for them, only to have them give it up at the interception afterwards. They were trying to see if they could get that same spark out of that same play.
2nd and 8 from the 36. Back up to the line they go. Litcher out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. 3 receivers spread out to his right. Takes the snap, looks to his right, and now going to take it himself. Sees some space up the left side to midfield, to the 45, the 40, 35 to 30, and he's pushed out of bounds at around the 25. A big pickup by Robert Litcher.
That was a great run, and that was not a designed run. He was looking for receivers, and they were all covered. And then he looked up to scramble, and he had a lot of open space in front of him. Great pickup.
A 44-yard pickup by Litcher.
Is that their longest play from scrimmage so far? Or is that
34 yards, excuse me. That is indeed their longest play from scrimmage.
Sorry to put you on the spot like that.
Oh, that's okay. But yes, that is their longest play of the day. Litcher out of the gun once again. Karatza in the backfield. Takes the snap. He'll go to Karatza. And Karatza dragged down for a small loss as Matt Uzer brings him to the ground.
Karatza's having a tough second half. He really had some open running room in the first half, and he was doing well. And now it seems like Algonquin's kind of spying on him, and they know where he's going.
Really, besides that one run where he went for 28 yards, he hasn't been able to come up with too much. Algonquin has really chimed in on the run here. Litcher out of the gun, Karatz in the backfield. Takes the snap, he'll throw the screen, and it's going to be a big gain. Here he goes, Seamus Murphy, and he is going to be brought down at around the 15. A huge pickup there. Off the screen, and about an 18-yard pickup.
Nice play. He caught that way out on the wing there and got a blocker in front of him, and he slipped through the defense. Nice running.
Litcher goes back out to the huddle, and I think we're starting to see how versatile this offense can be. Good mix of run and pass, and they can do a lot of different things. Litcher Out of the gun once again, Carazza going to get the call. Bursts up the middle and fights his way towards the 10. Brought down after a pickup of 3 or 4.
Yeah, that was a nice run inside the guards there, right up the middle.
It'll make it a 2nd and 6 from the 12-yard line. So the Hillers are moving. This drive started all the way back at their own 34. Minute and 5 seconds and counting left to go in the third quarter. Litcher out of the gun. Carazza in the backfield. Two receivers spread out to either side. Motion right to left. And he will throw the screen over to Petruni. And Petruni fighting his way towards the goal line. And it looks like he's going to be stopped just short.
Nice play. He took the ball, ran right for the goal line, and he got hit on both sides of him right before the goal line.
They're going to mark him right between the 1 and 2 yard line, so a pickup of about 10.
Yeah, that's first down, first and goal from the 1. Or 1.5.
All right, I'll give him 11 yards then. Clock stop. It looks like the quarter actually, they're just going to let it run out and pick up with this drive in the fourth quarter. Probably the right call there. But the Hillers in business. They'll start off the fourth quarter at the 1 yard line with a chance for the go-ahead touchdown. Algonquin missed on both conversion attempts, so all they need is the 6, and they're up by 1.
Yeah, this will be a real big emotional boost for them to score a touchdown here. A touchdown would be huge.
It certainly would be.
After some of the ups and downs, to actually then come out with the lead here would be really, really big for these guys.
And there'll still be a lot of football after that, but the defense playing really well tonight. This Algonquin offense, they certainly have shown they have some good versatility, a lot of different running backs that they can use that are very effective. But this Hiller defense, they may give up a big play or two, but they have been stopping them when it really counts.
Yeah, especially in the air. The Algonquin ground game is pretty tough. But the Hillers are there. They're doing really well.
They certainly are. An update from TVL football. Dedham leading Medfield at the end of the third quarter, 34-13. And we'll try to get you other TVL updates as they come in. But we are ready for the fourth quarter. Hillers first and goal from the 1. And it's going to be a run up the middle. Carazza, and it looks like he was stopped. And that might have been a small loss. I think that play was a little bit risky there, coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, the offensive line really didn't get a push on anybody. And first thing that Carazza saw was all those white shirts.
So it looks like they marked him right back near the 1, so no gain on that run by Carazza, but they do have a couple more cracks at it. Up to the line they go.
Now they spread it out here this time.
Yeah, and they're going to put Litcher out of the pistol. He'll roll to his right, throws to his right, and it's complete. Sam Pantera on the 1 yard touchdown reception, and the Hillers have taken the lead.
That's a great play. They got Litcher sprinting out to his right, kind of a run read option, looking to keep it or throw it. Yeah, the perfect guy wide open in the end zone, and Pantera made sure he caught it. That's a great play by him.
Certainly is. And Litcher and Pantera, they have played for the last few years together on the football field as well as the basketball court. They certainly have a good relationship and have been each other's teammates for quite a while. And a good connection on that touchdown reception.
Yeah, and Hillers take the lead just with the touchdown, like you said. They're already up 1.
They will now attempt
Going for 2.
the 2-point conversion. Litcher out of the pistol takes the snap. Rolls to his left, throws up the middle, wide open. Guess who?
Yep.
Sam Pantera. And that'll make it a 3-point game.
Yeah, that's a huge one. And that's got to make Pantera feel good. He had dropped a pass earlier, and I could see him on the sidelines after. He was pretty upset with himself. So to come back with a touchdown catch and then a 2-point conversion catch, that's good for him. I hope he feels good about that.
So it's the Robert Litcher, Sam Pantera show as they capitalize on this drive. It was a drive that lasted about a little less than 5 minutes, and it went 66 yards, resulting in a 1-yard touchdown reception by Sam Pantera and a successful 2-point conversion reception by Sam Pantera. And the Hillers lead it 15-12. Avery Ravitch will tee it up and kick off. And Algonquin will hope to get something going offensively. They have been stalled pretty much throughout the entirety of the second half up to this point.
Yeah, and hopefully the Hillers defense can kind of use some of the momentum by the offense.
It's bobbled in the backfield, but it is picked up and returned to about the 20.
Now, like I said, the Hillers defense needs to feed off some of that offensive momentum and get Algonquin off the field as soon as they can.
Dylan Terra bobbled it. I believe it was Declan Mulcairn who picked it up and was able to return it. So let's see what this Algonquin offense has in store. Will they go back to that hurry-up style, or will they continue to try to spread it out? And at least for now, they are going to put quarterback under center with a wishbone backfield. Pemberton takes the snap, and it's going to be a run up the middle, and this will pick up a few yards. Gain of 6 or 7, and on the rush that time, it was Dylan Terra. Pretty good run there. 2nd and 3 from the 27-yard line. And they quickly get back up to the line. Pemberton under center, wishbone back set once again with the receiver spread out to the left. Takes the snap, run up the gut, and maybe a yard there. So it looks like they are trying to get back to that hurry-up style, and that was Patrick Hanlon getting the call.
That really is when they had most of their success, was in that hurry-up offense, and when they were like with the heavy backfield.
And here they go again, right back up to the line with that wishbone set. And run up the middle from the right back. Dylan Terra doesn't get very far, maybe to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a nice play by the defensive end. Just grabbed him right at the line of scrimmage and hauled him down.
Actually, they mark him, at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so we're at 4th and 1 here.
So this is a huge play in this game, really, for both teams. Can the Hillers defense come up with a huge stop? You'd imagine they're going to try to run it.
Well, they got the punt team out there.
Well, they are going to punt it. Well, there's still just under 9 minutes left.
Oh, there's a bad snap.
It's over his head. It's over the punter's head. He picks it up at the goal line and just gets it away. And it's going to take a big Algonquin roll all the way to the 40-yard line. What a recovery by the
got a flag
punter.
back there.
And I think, did someone run into the kicker?
Yeah, that's where that flag would be.
Alex Klein was back out there to punt it away.
Yep, running into the kicker.
And, oh, no, this is going to hurt the Hillers big.
Be another first down. This is deja vu. This happened in the first half.
This is going to be the second time this game Algonquin gets the ball back due to a Hiller running into the kicker. And we have a local update. Milford defeated Wellesley 34-14. So the Scarlet Hawks of Milford are undefeated on the season. But Algonquin gets a fresh set of downs after the running into the kicker call. And the fans certainly are not happy.
Come on, guys.
So the Titans have life, and they move up to the 44-yard line. It's going to be Pemberton under center, wishbone back set, and a run up the middle, good for a couple. On the carry that time, Dylan Terra. And that's just the worst when you have them stopped. You're about to get the ball back and you run into the kicker. And obviously, that time it wasn't just a direct run into the kicker. Snap was over the kicker's head.
Right, they were bearing down on him for whatever they could get. You can't really blame them there, I suppose.
And they have a
intercepted
quarterback, and it's going to be intercepted. Paul Litcher on the interception. Will Mahoney was in at quarterback, the sophomore. Paul Litcher intercepts it and takes it up the far side to the Algonquin 40 before being brought down.
That was a great interception. He came across. Quarterback never saw him. He was running across the secondary.
There was a flag on the play. We got to see what this is about. Could this be coming back?
Yeah, the Hillers look like it's coming against them. Pass interference.
Oh, boy.
Against the Hillers.
Pass interference against the Hillers. So erase the interception. I don't know who the pass interference call was on. And Coach Sanborn not happy at all. But Algonquin is going to get a new set of downs and move into Hiller territory. They will line it up at the 38-yard line. That's a tough call. Wishbone in the backfield, and they have the sophomore quarterback in still, Mahoney. It's a handoff to the right back and a run up the middle. Taken to about the 35, good for 2 or 3 by Terra.
So look at 2nd and 6 now, and they look like they were lined up in that real heavy run offense there.
And it looks like they're going to continue running the ball. And a couple penalties have really extended this drive for the Titans. And now it looks like it is Mahoney, I believe, still in at quarterback. Hand off to the left back, and it gets nowhere. Good stop by the Hiller defense.
There we go. Loss of 2 on that player, 1 or 2.
There's Natalo Maggiolino on the rush that time, and he was slowed down by Devin Canty. Ball is marked back at the 36, so loss of a couple.
Looking at a 3rd and 8. A couple of bad calls going against the Hillers. Not mean that they were bad officially, but bad for them. And they got to stand up right now if they want to take control of this game.
Well, this defense has played pretty remarkable throughout the course of this game. Let's see if they can continue. Pemberton lined up under center, a wishbone back set. It is Pemberton back in. He'll throw to his left, and it is nearly intercepted. He was aiming for Dylan Terra, and it was off of Terra's hands and nearly picked off by Colby Lavalette. But it'll bring up 4th down for Algonquin.
And they're, again, in this kind of in-between field position where it might be too short to punt and too far to kick a field goal. Last time they tried to run it and they lost 6 yards.
Right. 4th and 7 from the 36. You'd imagine they're going to try a pass here, and it looks like they want some time to talk it over. They're going to take a timeout. 6:02 left to go. And Wally, despite these unfortunate penalties on the Hillers, you have to give credit to this defense, as even with all these obstacles and all these times that Algonquin has extended a drive due to an unfortunate call, they have continued to come up with big stops.
Yeah, they haven't let that stop them at all emotionally out there. They're still coming after every play. And hopefully it continues here.
Yep, they'll need yet another big stop.
Because this time you would think Algonquin will be more apt to throw it. They've got 8 yards to gain instead of 5 as they did the last time. And they're a little bit further out. They've got a little more room to work with back there. The only other thing I could think of is if they do punt or like a quick kick or something like that.
And we have another TBL update we want to share. Westwood defeated Bellingham 40-7. So the Westwood Wolverines remain undefeated as they take down Bellingham 40-7. And it looks like they're going to come out of the gun this time. Different quarterback.
Deep
That's
throw.
Kniff at quarterback. And he throws up to the 15, and it's hauled in. And Algonquin has extended this drive as the connection is made with Patrick Hanlon. Liam Cuniff, the junior, with a big pass for about 30 yards to Patrick Hanlon.
That's a big play for them, and that really hurts the Hillers right there.
The clock continues to click down, approaching 5.5 minutes left to go. It looks like Algonquin really just trying a number of different options at a lot of their offensive positions. As they're going to hand it off, it's going to be a run up the middle, and a pretty good pickup there by Owen Elworth.
Yeah, that was that double tight ends, three running backs in the backfield offense that they were running so well at the end of the first half. They know they're getting down where they can't fool around.
And that time it was Jordan Lopez in at quarterback. And it looks like what they're doing is similar to what the Holliston Panthers are famous for, their war package, where they just switch players at pretty much every position, and it's typically a set like this with a power eye or a wishbone, and you run the ball or do short little passes. Up the middle, and he is going to get towards the 3-yard line, I would say. And that time it was Patrick Hanlon.
It's going to be 3rd down and inches now for Algonquin. Inside the 5-yard line.
But a 2 or 3 yard pickup, 3rd and inches.
Yeah, less than a yard here.
Ball just inside the 5. Wishbone backfield once again. And it's going to be a handoff. And taking up the left side on the sweep and not get very far.
No, the Hillers got deep penetration into the backfield there, and they got a hand on him, slowed him down a little bit, so he didn't get very far.
I believe that was Mulker Karen on the rush that time.
They're putting in their real heavy defense there now, taking out one of the defensive backs for another lineman.
So it is 2nd and goal from about the 5. And that is Mulcairn in at quarterback. Wishbone backfield, hands it off, up the middle, and into the end zone goes Owen Elworth.
Yeah, they went back to what they knew worked best, and running right in between the tackles with that heavy offense.
A 5-yard touchdown run for Owen Elworth, and Algonquin has retaken the lead. An 18-15 lead, and will they attempt an extra point or 2-point conversion? That could make a big difference too. You can't forget the Hillers have a very good kicker. That drive lasted quite a while for Algonquin. They're going to go for 2. It's going to be a pitch to the right side. It's dropped and recovered by a Hiller, so the conversion is unsuccessful, and the score is going to remain 18-15 Algonquin.
This is where the disparity in the kicking games really is coming to show itself. Algonquin doesn't trust themselves to even kick an extra point, and now it's a 3-point game, and the Hillers have a good opportunity where even if they're farther out, they have a better weapon where they have someone that can kick for it from further out.
Right, and I was watching the Hillers practice the other day, and Ravitch was attempting 35, 40-yard field goals, and he was hitting a good amount of them. So if they need him to kick a deep field goal, he certainly has a good chance of tying this game up. So this game is far from over. Still 3 minutes, 8 seconds left. A 3-point Algonquin lead. As Alex Klein set to send it away. End over end it goes, sails back to the 19-yard line. And here is the return by Seamus Murphy.
Oh, wow.
Murphy leaping over a Titan, and he takes it to about midfield. What a return by Seamus Murphy.
He bounced off every defender out there, I think. And then he casually stepped over another one.
He looked like a ping pong ball, and then he leaps over a defender and ends up having about a 41-yard return.
Yeah, that really puts them in good shape to start this drive.
It certainly does. The Hillers will start at midfield. A 3-point lead for Algonquin, but the Hillers starting this drive at midfield. Out of the pistol. Litcher looking up the middle, and he connects. He finds Petruni. Up the far side he goes, and he is dragged out of bounds at around the 28-27-yard line. A big pickup right off the bat.
Yeah, that's a 20-something yard play right there. Petruni's really picked his spots today, and he's come up with some really big plays.
That is a 22-yard pickup.
Petruni caught that ball right in stride and never slowed down.
Litcher going to line it up out of the gun once again. Carazza in the backfield. Receivers in tight. He'll pitch it to Carazza. Here is a sweep, trying to set the edge, and he's dragged out of bounds. Not a very big pickup, if anything. Might have been a small loss. We'll see where they mark him.
He did get out of bounds, stopped the clock with 2:18.
All right, so they will give him small
4
loss.
yards.
Or they'll give him a couple yards there. It's at the 21. Or excuse me, the 20.
Yeah, it's 21.
Yeah, about the 21.
Yeah, once they get behind the players, it's hard to see how deep they get.
Yes. Out of the gun once again goes Litcher. Takes the snap, looks to his left, pump fakes, rolling to his right. In trouble, throws up the sideline, incomplete. Nearly intercepted. Intended target, Sam Pantera. Patrick Hanlon on defense.
He looked to his left, had a wide open guy on the left, but I think that was the deception, hoping the defense would go over there. And then he came right, tried to direct traffic, and then I think he knew he didn't have anything, kind of tried to throw it away.
3rd and 5 from the 21. As the Hillers will huddle up and talk things over. They are just about in field goal range. Litcher going to line it up, out of the gun. Perazza in the backfield. Takes the snap, rolls to his left, under pressure, and the pass is batted. That's going to be an incomplete pass. That'll bring up 4th down and 5 to go. What will they do here? Do you bring out Avery Ravitch, or do you run another play?
Oh, good question.
It would be a pretty far field goal, for sure.
Yeah, it'd be a 38-yarder. Looks like they're going to run a play. 4th and 5.
Well, this is a huge play with 2:04 left to go. Litcher lined up out of the gun. Perazza in the backfield. They will run it. Back goes Litcher, throws to his right.
He's got it.
At the 10. Here he goes.
Touchdown.
Into the end zone. Touchdown. Sam Pantera. A 21-yard touchdown reception. Unbelievable.
That's a great drive by the Hillers.
Unbelievable.
Only about 1 minute and 6 seconds, too, to take care of that whole drive, right? You almost leave too much time on the clock.
1 minute and 5 seconds to go 50 yards, resulting in a 21-yard touchdown connection between Robert Litcher and Sam Pantera. And now Avery Ravitch out for the extra point to try to put the Hillers up by 4. The snap, the kick, and it is good. Hillers take the 4-point lead, 22-18.
Now the Hillers defense really has to come out and show us what they are.
What excitement here for the Hillers home opener.
What a drive set up by that big run back on the kickoff. That really got them going. That was a really well played drive.
It most certainly was.
Some good quarterback play there. Nice throws and nice catches by the receivers.
Yeah, it really all started with that big Petruni kick return, and then the result was none other than the Litcher-Sam Pantera connection, which has shown to be just deadly for the Hillers. They have connected twice tonight, 4 touchdowns, and also once for a 2-point conversion. As Avery Ravitch will send it off. 1 minute, 54 seconds left. This game's not over yet. Algonquin still has time. If they could string together a quick drive, we know they could run a pretty good hurry-up offense.
Nice kick.
Beauty of a kick, sails back to about the 2-yard line. And the return is going to be taken to about the 25, so a pretty good kick return.
Yeah, decent return on a deep kick. He caught that around the 2-yard line. He really does have a leg.
He has an unbelievable leg. And I was really wondering if they were going to try to bring him out for the field goal to tie it up. And they could have, and I think he easily could have hit that.
Yeah, I agree. And I was thinking that was probably the safer play.
Well, maybe not easily hit it, but I think he's certainly capable of hitting it.
Right.
Ball marked at the 24-yard line. So 1 minute 48 seconds left, and Algonquin has some work to do, and they're going to have to do it quickly.
They got to keep these guys in bounds.
They're going to line up with a couple of receivers at each side. Pass is batted, nearly intercepted. Liam Cuniff was in at quarterback. Braden Hicks nearly picked it off as it was off a receiver's hands.
Hits the receiver's hands, just throws off his timing a bit and went off of his hands.
I think we've seen 4 or 5 different quarterbacks tonight for Algonquin.
Just in the last 5 minutes.
And we have an injured player on the field, an injured Hiller We're not quite sure who it is. We will certainly let you know. 1:46 left to go. We hope it's nothing serious, especially after what we saw earlier in the night. But with 1:46 left to go, the Hillers leading 22-18. We'll step aside on HCAM. And we have another injury stoppage, and fortunately it does not seem too severe, especially after what we saw earlier in the night, but it is a Hillers injury. It looks like Kevin Prasanna was shooken up on the last play. He's being helped off by a couple of teammates.
Mostly under his own power. There he is.
So he's walking off under his own power now. Good sign. 1:46 left to go. Algonquin facing a 2nd and 10 from their 24. They need a score here on this drive if they want to win this game, as the Hillers lead it by 4. Out of the pistol, a throw up the middle. It's intercepted! Picked off! And on the interception, that was Carlos Linton, who has had huge defensive plays tonight.
That's a big one.
He has had a number of big plays. I believe he had a fumble recovery as well, and now he gets what is likely the game-winning interception.
Yeah, that's great. Algonquin quarterback probably had too much pressure in his face. I wasn't watching that part. And he threw it just up for grabs, and there was not a Algonquin receiver anywhere near it.
They were just taking a gamble there. They had Liam Cunniff at quarterback, just kind of huck it up the middle. And none other than your defensive MVP, Carlos Linton, picks it off. And the Hillers, in all likelihood, are going to improve to 2-0.
They're going to try to run out the clock here.
Yeah, they're going to take a knee, and they'll be able to run it out. A huge win here tonight for the Hopkinton Hillers. It was a game that featured many momentum shifts, a lot of craziness. And this game just had a little bit of everything, Wally.
It really
was
did.
Wild.
Yeah, a lot of momentum shifts back and forth. And there were times when it looked like the Hillers weren't even in this game. And then they come back and actually take the lead and win. In the end, is a great chance for them.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that this is a statement win for the Hillers, and it shows how gritty they can be, and they could fight down to the last second, and they certainly did that. Here tonight.
Yeah, definitely a not give up win for them tonight. They like I said, they looked like they weren't in it, especially at the end of the first half. They didn't look like they were going to be able to stop Algonquin, and they come out and win the game.
A tremendous win by the Hopkinton Hillers, as it was 15 fourth-quarter points. That does it. And they take down Algonquin 22-18. Wally, I don't think there's any doubt that there's a number of players on this roster you can give player of the game to, but I think you got to give it to Sam Pantera.
I agree.
And I also think you have to make him share it with Carlos Linton.
Yeah, both of them played really well. Another guy you maybe consider if you're going to give like player of the second half might be to Petruni.
All right. He had a lot of big contributions as well, but it was a team effort, and the Hillers came together as a team, and even when things got tough and weren't going their way, they were able to make big plays when it counted, and they come up with a huge win over a very good Algonquin team, 22-18. But before we sign off tonight, I certainly want to again give our best wishes to Chris Adrianson. We really hope that he recovers quickly and that he is doing okay, but our thoughts are certainly with Chris Adrianson. And it's certainly kind of a bittersweet win, even though it's a big win and a fun win for the Hillers, but kind of bittersweet with that injury.
You hate seeing a game kind of marred by that. It's tough, and even the Hillers guys will be thinking about that poor kid tonight.
But that is just about going to do it for our crew. John Ritz, Mike Terosian, my broadcast partner, Wally Henneberry. I'm Tom Nappy. We thank you for watching Hopkinton Hillers football on HCAM, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks for their next home game against Foxborough. They'll be on the road in Westboro next week, but a huge win for the Hillers here tonight, and it showed that they are ready to battle and ready to go this season. Be sure to follow along. But for all of us at HCAM, take care, enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.